I can't necessarily judge Pierogi. If you want to still support him, that's your call. Don't support Pierogi. He's not good for you, and he's not good for the scammer community. He did abuse his position, but here's the thing. We were all guilty of it because I just was trying to use them. And yeah, I was, but it got shut down and demonetized because it was geared towards kids, and there was like very suggestive sexual content being pushed out.
There was nothing sexual, and I think he used that word in his video. I think
he did,
sexually explicit, and that is extremely offensive.
And she was completely used basically as a catfish.
So I volunteered to help him get information on the scammer. Essentially, I thirst trapped a scammer boss.
He was DMing sexually explicit messages, and I was doing the same thing. Him and Brandon helped save my marriage. Like Brandon specifically. Well, Brandon had now weaseled his way into the scammer payback community via having married Pierogi's wife's sister. By the way, divorced now, that's gotta be weird in office meetings.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
I promise you, by the end of this video, you will finally see the sham that is this campaign against Scammer Payback for what it really is. And that is just a small group of people that are very, very loud, that are very upset because they lost their mod roles. That was the only source of power and authority they had in their life. And now they're trying to take revenge on Pierogi and Scammer Payback for taking away that power that they held so dearly. And if I'm being honest, if this video doesn't convince you, then I'm sorry, you just cannot be convinced. And that you are closed-minded and you are not willing to change your mind. But for those of you who are incredibly open-minded and you like evidence and you like living in the real world and you like reality and you like seeing things backed by evidence like normal people do, then this video is for you. And I hope that when it's all said and done, you will continue to support Pierogi because what they do is good work. But like I said, again, make sure you stick around to the end of this video. This may be a bit of a marathon, but I promise you it's worth it. Plus, you know how Orange Hoodie Guy keeps saying how he did things he wasn't proud of while he was in that Discord? Well, stick around to the end and maybe, just maybe, I'll let you know what one of those things were. But for right now, I think that my principles and my morals tend to guide my decisions I make on this channel. And one of my first major controversies involved a creator by the name of Savannah, who I was actually subscribed to and used to just watch because I enjoyed her content, put out a video basically trying to accuse Scammer Payback, mainly Pierogi, of being a predator and using women in his Discord. And
I'm a flirtatious guy.
all the evidence suggested that it wasn't a predatory thing. It was just kind of like Pierogi was making some bad decisions at the time. And then once you put into context that Pierogi was struggling with alcohol during that time, you know, it put into a much clearer picture of what was actually going on with Pierogi at the time, and that his actions weren't incredibly insidious. It was actually just a guy who was pretty much lost in the sauce and making bad decisions for his life. Not to mention that there wasn't even a in-person physical affair, much akin to like a webcam girl type of situation, which some consider cheating, and I guess I would consider that cheating as well, but it wasn't like there was any kind of physical altercations that took place between the two, and I simply pointed that out. I also pointed out that a lot of the evidence that Heenan was using to try to paint Pierogi as a predator showed that she was just as guilty of initiating the sexual interactions with him as he was.
Okay, what have you been thinking?
I've been thinking about all 8.5 inches of you, of how you'd how you'd fill me up with your.
All right, that's enough of that. In fact, actually more so. Many people tended to agree that the narrative got lost and Savannah was trying to paint it as something it wasn't, and the evidence was being manipulated and used to push a narrative that just simply didn't exist. Fast forward to where we are today. Now I have to deal with this guy.
I knew people that turn around and contribute literally their social security because they believe in what he's doing.
No, I did not touch that. That is not me editing over his own words He did that himself in his own video. This is the guy that they chose to be the mouthpiece for their movement against Scammer Payback. A person who does so much good in the world. This is who they send after him.
Video of my experience, video of things that I know for certain, video of things I don't know for certain.
I kid you not, you can't write this stuff. This is YouTube for you though, guys. Now, before we address Colin's latest masterpiece of a video, which you clearly see is very well edited and very carefully put together, I want to recap some of the claims so far that have been made against Scammer Payback, and maybe we can shed some light on it. Because although the Orange Hoodie Guy thinks that just saying something is enough to prove that it's true, unfortunately, us who live in the real world know that bringing receipts is very important to make any argument valid. And it just so happens I got myself a crap ton ton of receipts, pretty much to negate anything that this guy has said so far. For those of you who claim that I don't do real journalism, I guess just sit back and watch me work. Now, the first thing this genius does is claim that he's being accused of being a doxer, and then right after he says that, immediately doxes Pierogi's entire business. Now, for the sake of not being a complete douchebag, I'm going to blur out the parts that Collins has no problem giving to the internet.
Instead of calling Pierogi, I may have called him because that is public information. Now, I never turned around and said his first and last name because honestly, I don't want that hate on him. Not at the end of the day, not from a personal level. What I do want though, however, is people to stop supporting someone that actually doesn't give a shit about his victims, doesn't give a shit about you, to turn around, stop giving him financial support if you're doing it because you think he cares. Him and Brandon helped save my marriage. Oh wait, I said his name again. Am I gonna get in trouble with doxing? No, I'm not, because anyone that maybe wanted to do a public information lookup for an LLC by the name of or by the name of, I mean, he literally has his YouTube channel under his name.
So let me get this straight. You say that you aren't doxing Pierogi, yet 5 minutes after you say that, you tell scammers, and that's who you're telling essentially is scammers, not this horde of protesters you think are watching, where to find them, how to look them up, basically putting Pierogi and anybody associated with Scammer Payback security at risk. Why? So that you could tell them to stop supporting him. What does donations have to do with someone's location? Can you tell me that? This is probably the lowest move that you could possibly do, Collins. This is leaving the realm of entertainment, and this is honestly putting someone's family, personalized, at risk. Just because you can look that stuff up doesn't mean everybody knows how to look that stuff up. You just made it easy for anybody who Pierogi has stopped to find out where he is and his kids are. You absolute piece of shit. This idiot is so desperate to hurt Pierogi because he feels wronged by him, which we're going to get to, and how he actually wasn't wronged by him, he wronged himself, that he will put out personal information that could make Pierogi security less secure. If I had to guess how much money that Pierogi has stopped scammers from attaining, I'd have to say it probably approaches the hundreds of millions. So if you don't think that there's people out there who may have a vendetta against him and you're just making it easy for them to find out where he is, that makes you an absolute piece of crap. I'm sorry, but it does. If you don't see why this is such a problem for Collins to put this information out so easily and make it readily available to everybody, then I'm sorry, you probably aren't living in reality and you don't realize what exactly it is that Scammer Payback does. Now, Collins is going to take a break from attacking Pierogi for a second in this video, and he's going to mainly attack Brandon. Now, Brandon is a silent partner in Scammer Payback. Brandon is also the person that Collins credits with saving his marriage. And what better way to thank someone for saving your marriage than attacking them? And trust me when I say this, if you find out what exactly it was that Collins did that put his marriage in jeopardy, I think you're going to understand just how much legwork Brandon really had to do to save that fucking thing.
Where are we going to go today? Well, in order to do that, first and foremost, we have to go back in time. We have to go back to 2021. The world was on edge, but so was Scammer Payback. Because a new player had recently entered, and that player is this individual, Brandon, who I will not say his name, even though you could go and look up the fact that his business is registered under him as well.
All right, so you say you don't want to say his name, but you tell people exactly where to go find him. Isn't that the same as doxing? Is it telling someone where to go find the information the same as basically just giving them the information? What's the difference? So as if it wasn't enough to dox all the people who work for Scammer Payback and Pierogi himself, now you want to dox an entirely new family, thus threatening the security of Brandon's family now.
And that his first and last name was registered to this business as well, DCTC Clubhouse. But we're going to get back to that in just a moment, because interesting story about that.
Oh, we're definitely getting to DCTC, and I don't think you're going to like it, Collins.
Well, Brandon had now weaseled his way into the Scammer Payback community via having married Pierogi's wife's sister. By the way, divorced now, that's gotta be weird in office meetings, but again, he's a great stand-up guy, right? Him and Brandon helped save my marriage. Like, Brandon specifically.
So, just to recap again, Brandon saves your marriage, but yet you're on a campaign to destroy him, Pierogi, and everything they've built. Alright, check. Just making sure we know where we're at on the scorecard, because I don't know anybody in their right mind who would look at this guy and see someone who's stable and see someone who's trustworthy.
Well, Brandon was rubbing a lot of us the wrong way. We weren't sure what was going on. We weren't sure what was happening. He did abuse his position, but here's the thing. We were all guilty of it. Every single one of us. But something about him just seemed like he was a piranha coming in just for the kill, or a vulture circling up above just trying to feed off whatever carcass there was he could feed off. Liar! We were all guilty of it. Every single one of us.
Gee, it sounds like Brandon was a nightmare to talk to. If only we had those conversations to look at and decide whether or not Brandon really was this predatory guy that Collins is claiming he was. Oh wait, I do have them. Let's take a look at them. Let's see just how bad Brandon was to deal with. So for an example of something that Brandon said, let's turn to this staff chat between him and C. Jones when someone violated the rules of the Discord. C. Jones said Devil May Cry's message was deleted. Talk to him and remind him of the community rules, and he apologized for bringing that up and said he wouldn't do it again. Also, that was the actual chat. This was the voice channel. I noticed it appears gone out of the blue. When Brandon says, we don't want to be associated with that kind of stuff or have a place to monitor at that level. C. Jones replies, I'm confused about this we you keep saying. Are you representing yourself, having Pierogi's permission to delete that channel? Or are you saying that all of us, the staff as a group, shouldn't have to monitor any channel? Multiple mods here saw when he posted about the dark web and it was deleted within less than 5 minutes. I deleted an inappropriate song someone made and posted it in general chat yesterday. So should we also just nuke general chat while we're at it? This doesn't make any sense. Now, in case you aren't familiar with who Brandon is Pierogi's stepbrother, or at least was Pierogi's stepbrother. That's none of our business. But Brandon owns 50% of Scammer Payback. That means that he is the silent partner to Pierogi. Silent partner meaning he doesn't really want a whole lot of attention, hence why I'm not sticking his picture up in the corner right there. We're going to talk about Brandon a little more in a second, but I want to just focus on this conversation right now. Obviously, Brandon being half owner of Scammer Payback gives him just as much right as Pierogi has, but yet he's being challenged by a mod in a Discord that is associated with a YouTube channel that is owned by someone else who is in charge of the brand. So while yes, the Discord is in a way a place for fans to come together, it is not directly associated with the YouTube channel itself. So when you say you are in Scammer Payback, I think that you should start adding that you were in the Scammer Payback Discord and not exactly in Scammer Payback the company, because those are two different entities. So right here, a mod is challenging the owner of Scammer Payback about how their Discord should be run. At the end of the day, Brandon's word is law, and a mod is someone who is appointed by the owners. So it's kind of like a janitor at a McDonald's challenging the general manager about how the burgers are being made.
I warned you guys I had some bad news.
It sounds silly when you put it like that, don't it? But this is exactly the type of stuff that started this whole thing falling apart. Don't worry though, we got plenty more examples. So continuing that conversation, here's Night Maiden, which you can hear being referenced in Colin's video, says, can you put back the Scam Bait voice channel? So the Scam Bait voice channel was a place for people to go and scam bait and have people watch them. It was almost like a perfect place for somebody who was trying to become an up-and-coming YouTuber to go and get people to watch them scam bait. So you could see why everybody was really upset that this was taken away, because this was their chance to use Pierogi's audience to grow themselves. To which C. Jones adds, and also C. Jones is one of the leaders of this mob that's attacking Scammer Payback, says, continually deleting channels from the Discord will have a negative effect on the community as a whole. The people who are active here are the people who are active in the streams too. Driving them away from here will drive them away from the streams. Brandon, who is again the owner of Scammer Payback with Pierogi, says, me and Pierogi discussed it, trying to keep things safe and clean so people like Shadowhunter and others like him aren't enticed to join and share those things. To which C. Jones replies, then get rid of the individual members and not the channel. D, who is quiet as a mouse, scam baited for the first time the other night, and we were excited to have it done here. So clearly you see that right now the inmates are trying to take control of the prison.
Taking it off here, boss.
Yeah, take it off, Dragline.
And you can see it there clear as day that Brandon and Pierogi made the executive decision that it is putting the brand at risk to have these voice channels active, because if something takes place and there's voice channels that ends up coming back to bite them in the butt, it's easier just to eliminate that risk. This is a business decision, not one that's made to just stick it to the mods, regardless of how they may feel about it. So the conversation continues and Brandon decides that he's going to show them exactly why he decided to get rid of the channel. To which he says, the same can be said about any voice chat, but the value of Scambay voice adds versus the cons doesn't make sense. C. Jones replies, what? To which Brandon says, there are general voice chat and off topics that can be used. Basically saying, if you guys want to talk here, we still have channels here that you can use. We're just not going to continue to use the scam bait channel. AKA stop using Pierogi's audience to try and boost your own views. C. Jones immediately gets mad and says, this is a scam bait community! We built this community around scam baiting and Pierogi! Night Maiden then adds, you won't have anyone want to be here. We voice chat to keep in touch with our friends here and learn how to avoid scams. This place was very quiet when I started. People will move to a noisier, more active room. Keep taking those voice chats away. Not good. Brandon, no one uses the other voice chat, or very rarely. And both you and Pierogi being inactive Not very welcoming. As nice as it is for a channel to have Discord so that your community can come together and talk, if it threatens the actual business, which is on YouTube, which is generally not associated with the Discord in most cases, usually it's a gift given by the YouTube channel to have a Discord so that your community can come and talk, and it's great for small channels to build, but when large channels are doing it, they have to protect the brand first. And if stuff that goes on in the Discord starts threatening the brand, then you need to address things in the Discord, or get rid of the Discord altogether, which they seem to have done. No, God! But you can see here that they are constantly challenging Brandon, who is basically the same level as Pierogi on every single decision he's making, only because he's newer. Not to mention that I think the reason that they got all upset and all up in arms is because they used to like watching each other scam bait, and that was their only audience, and now it's gone, and they don't want to go on YouTube and put in all the hard work that Pierogi did. They'd rather just poach off his audience. Let's step away for a second from the chat. We're gonna finish that conversation, and we'll see just how big of a monster Brandon is, which clearly you could see so unreasonable asking them to take away chats that are endangering the brand.
How rude.
But my perspective on this whole thing is that Brandon was already an established entrepreneur on YouTube, which I'm going to cover more later on in this video. Pierogi was becoming a very, very popular YouTuber and probably felt overwhelmed running the day-to-day business and probably needed help. Conveniently, his stepbrother was into the same things as Pierogi, and it just made sense for him to come in and buy half of the company and then run it. So of course, when Brandon comes in, he's going to see things that could be possible threats to the brand and address them.
Things are gonna change around here, Elsa.
Trying to run a 7 million subscriber YouTube by yourself probably is pretty hard, especially if you're struggling with substance abuse. So it makes sense that Pierogi would want some help. And these mods challenging every decision he's making probably didn't make his job any easier. And if they're being this resistant to Brandon, how resistant do you think they were being to Pierogi? Maybe they were just upset that they've been able to manipulate Pierogi and pretty much do whatever they wanted until Brandon came in and was like, hey, listen, that's bad for the brand, we gotta get rid of that. That's bad for the brand, we gotta get rid of that. These are all threats. It makes perfect sense why Brandon stepped in to help. Not like he was some guy who came off the street and all of a sudden decided, you know what, it's my channel now.
So we had a few differences, huh? No big deal. I gave you your start. I was the one who believed in you. I stay loyal to you.
He was already an incredibly successful entrepreneur, and Pierogi saw that as a valuable asset. That's why he probably brought him in. It's not like Brandon bribed himself into the company. Brandon continues the conversation by adding, if people want to share their scam baiting live, it shouldn't be here. We don't want drama, conflict, or sharing dark web scam baiting under Scammer Payback. This kind of controversy over decisions doesn't help. If we are battling admins and moderators over decisions we feel are right or safest. C. Jones, who remember is one of the people who are trying to take down Scammer Payback, adds, you better understand you're telling Pierogi's members, not yours, that they should take their business elsewhere with their comment. There was no decision discussed. You deleted that channel on your own. Basically, they're accusing Brandon of doing it just to piss them off. Now you're gonna see just how much Brandon had to deal with these crazy ass people. So Brandon then adds, me and Pete obviously being Pierogi, stand strongly that we don't want the drama that stirs up. We just went through a situation because of dad voice. Voice channels can cause problems, and it is shown. We don't have these same issues on any other platform. Basically saying like Discord's been a thorn in our side since the beginning, and you guys aren't helping. So C. Jones then says, you better take that back and accept your responsibility, Brandon. When I asked you to ban Hina because of DMs she was sending to members about threatening to unalive herself, DMs I have copies of from multiple people, you stood against getting rid of her because she was involved in the video released today. Wait, isn't Hina like on your team now? And you guys were trash talking her this bad? I removed her dad role so she wouldn't be there and complain to people. That is a bombshell. We figured out what it was that people were trying to get Hina kicked from the server for and why they decided to keep her. Hina was appearing in a video that was being released the day that this conversation was going on, and they didn't feel it was right to ban a girl who was struggling with unaliving herself. Now, whether or not she actually did want to do that is none of our business, all right? A lot of people go through different stuff, but it seems like they were trying to be supportive of Hina when the rest of the Discord wanted her gone.
She deserves nothing.
And when I refer to the rest of the Discord, I'm referring to the whole gang that Orange Hoodie has behind him trying to basically slander Scammer Payback. Now, ironically, Hina is on Team Orange Hoodie when the only people in that Discord who were supporting her were the runners of the damn channel. Man, I tell you, man, these hoes ain't loyal, bro. I'm out here trying to protect this chick when she's telling people she wants to unalive herself, and now she gonna turn her back on me and tell me that I was a monster while I was there supporting her in her time of need. The rest of the gang wanted to kick her ass out.
Damn!
I mean, this is seriously crazy. The fact that this whole group is acting like Scammer Payback are these monsters because they deleted some voice channels in the goddamn Discord. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. And the craziest part is we have only just begun. Wait until I tell you more about what's going on with this actual group trying to take down Scammer Payback. It's gonna blow your goddamn mind. And by the time I'm done, you're gonna see just how big of a liar Collins really is. So the conversation continues with C. Jones saying, "This isn't me, and don't call me drama driven. You kept around abusers who hurt people for attention." Now, I could be mistaken, but it sounds like he's talking about Hina here. But then again, it could also be Orange Hoodie Guy, because he did say he did some pretty terrible stuff there. Now, I know a few things he did, but you're gonna have to wait to the end to hear those. By the way, Orange Hoodie Guy was not currently in the Discord at this time, I do not believe. So these are the people who are the actual ringleaders of this whole mob, and I want you to understand that Orange Hoodie Guy is just the mouthpiece they're pushing to make these videos. He is not actually the leader. There's two people behind him that are pushing him to say all this stuff. Now, if we're trying to figure out who the actual ringleaders are, let's refer back to Collins's first video.
I became very close with Charlie, at the time C. Jones, who is well known.
See, now it doesn't take a rocket scientist to connect the fact that the C. Jones in these mod chats is also the C. Jones that is referenced inside of Collins's video, not to mention Charlie. See, EG's putting his old detective hat on and getting to work for y'all guys.
I'm filling up with anticipation. And after that,
this is the whole SB community that wants answers. People want to know why things are changing. Brandon, again, you can message me privately, C. Jones. Anything you have to say to me can be said here. But Brandon says, I actually don't have anything to say, but I don't think filling up the chat with drama is needed. C. Jones, aka Team Orange Hoodie, says, maybe take some input from people here who know more about the scam baiting world and how quickly people will walk away from individual scam baiters because of rash decisions. Brandon, I would never take input from someone who speaks to me the way you do. C. Jones, you know how there was voice chats in Dad nearly every night? And since you guys decided to delete it, it's been crickets here. Do you think they are really just sitting around waiting for Dad to come back? They've already found a new place to go to be a community. I can guarantee you this. I mean, wasn't that the point of Brandon deleting the voice channel so that there was no drama, right? So the crickets are exactly what he wanted. A lot of things must have been going down in them voice chats, like maybe arguments and stuff, and then they would run to Pierogi and be like, he said this, well, he said this, you got to get this guy under control. They're trying to run a YouTube channel. They don't got time to focus on your childhood schoolyard bullshit. Just because the Discord was your whole purpose does not mean that Brandon and Pierogi shared your same enthusiasm. Did they like going and connecting with the community? Sure. But at the end of the day, their main job is to scam bait and make sure they are stopping scammers from getting people's money. At the end of the day, that is the mission. The mission is not for you all to entertain yourselves in the Discord. All right, I'm sorry. This whole thing is being pushed by this narrative. I want you all to understand this at home. These people had power, right? Now they no longer have that power. With that power became their purpose. They had the ability to boss people around, correct them, and a lot of people can get intoxicated by authority. And I think this is exactly what happened with the mods in the Discord. I'm gonna pivot for a second here and tell you a story about my Discord. When I first got to about 1,000 subscribers, the first video I ever did was like a trans debate that was taking place, and it ended up bringing a lot of people into the Discord that I created just in case I ever got famous or had enough people who wanted to follow me. And that original input of people ended up having a huge drama thing with each other. And remember, I'm only 1,000 subscribers at this point, so I'm not huge, but every single day there was some new drama going on between these people, and it was too much for me to even handle, and I only had 1,000 subscribers. At some point, since I didn't address it enough, the whole entire Discord just did a mass exodus. Luckily, the Discord refilled up with a bunch of cool people that are in there now. But what I'm saying is that this is in every Discord and every single YouTube. The drama thing is just naturally going to take place when you bring a bunch of people with different personalities into your Discord. The fact that they think that Pierogi was going to be able to run a multi-million-dollar YouTube channel and handle their drama and be their therapist at the same time is just a silly thing to think. I honestly just see this as Brandon doing his best to try to make the channel more focused on what the product was, which is scam baiting from Pierogi, not from the community, from Pierogi. And the best way to do that was just eliminate all the distractions. The thing that upset these people was that they were thriving on these distractions to entertain themselves. They loved the drama in the Discord, I bet. They loved gossiping about one another. I guarantee it. And now they've all just migrated to somewhere else. And now their biggest thing is they joined forces, turned, and then focused their attention on Scammer Payback. I would bet my life savings on it that that is exactly what took place. Nothing bad. Yes, did Pierogi make mistakes with Hina? Yes, that's clearly well documented. But are these guys the monsters that they say they are? No, they're businessmen trying to create a business and sustain that business. and these people took it personally. So Brandon continues the conversation and says, absolutely heck, I used to dad chat more than P. It's sad because I really enjoyed it. People come to this Discord because they see a live stream or a video on YouTube. You blowing up on me doesn't entice either of us to want to be engaging in Discord. And that's a response to the comment made that P and Brandon weren't as active in the Discord, which made them not feel as welcomed. Has anybody picked up on this super toxic Brandon that Orange Hoodie claims was in this Discord? Because right now I have seen a pretty even-keeled guy trying to direct traffic in his own Discord. And yes, it is his own Discord. He owns half of Scammer Payback, thus his Discord. So then Knight made an ad. It has been this quiet in the chats since 2019. People are shocked, and I do care for all the members here. That's why I've been here and supporting P and SP for almost 2 years. And then Brandon finishes it up with, yes, but that's because the latest situation was handled the same way as this one. Loud and with zero respect. It's wild that I see talks about protecting the community, but when it comes to actual Scammer Payback, there's no understanding. He's essentially saying that you guys are mad that we got rid of the voice chats, but we're doing it to protect the Scammer Payback brand, which is why you're in the Discord in the first place, but you don't see that because all you see is something that you like being taken away from you, and that's angering you. But in the overall big picture of things, it's a threat to the actual Scammer Payback and the message that they're trying to send to people, which is overwhelmingly a positive message. Look at me, I'm just a guy who covers drama, right? And a bit of like a journalistic take. But what Scammer Payback does literally impacts people every single day. And at the end of the day, that's all these guys want to do is help people. This drama crap is not part of their agenda. Unfortunately, it comes with running a business nowadays, but he's essentially saying, like, if I tell you that it's the best for Scammer Payback for these voice channels to be gone and you guys are angry, then you're not actually respecting Scammer Payback. You're just upset that you lost something that you cared about. Now, I can see the frustration of losing the voice chat that you guys loved so much. No. Like, I do get that. Wait. But overall, you got to remember that Brandon is running a business, and if that business is threatened, he needs to do what he needs to do to protect that business. Wait. It's not a slight against you guys. It's because he wants Scammer Payback to be successful, and clearly the Discord is creating drama. I mean, look at the biggest thing that came out about P. It was something that took place in the Discord. Had that Discord not been there, who knows if P would have ever had that temptation to mess up with Hina. And again, he was an alcoholic at the time, so he definitely needed help with the channel. Can you imagine trying to keep a multi-million-dollar business afloat while you're drowning your sorrows in drinks? I don't think that's even possible. So Brandon, being a good friend, came in and made sure that the business was safe while P was dealing with his struggles. And even though we like to put these influencers up on a pedestal and imagine that their fart smells like flowers and their poop don't stink.
For a minute there, I thought you were actually trying to smell something.
These are real people who have real struggles. Regardless of how much success they found online, everybody deals with their own demons. Then Knight made in response to Brandon's comments, to answer that statement, yes, Pierogi had always had discussions with Discord mods and admins. We were with him for quite a while, and we voted on most anything. New mods, new members who weren't welcome, etc. He would let us know about new items coming, newer YouTube and Twitch mods and admins work together. We voted Sweet Charlie in, Bashful, and the newer YouTube and Twitch mods. Are they bringing in the 7 dwarves? What's with these silly nicknames? Are you gonna get Bashful and Drowsy and Dozy and Sleepy and Dot? It's like, what the hell? I don't even know if those are the 7 drawers, but it just sounds good. I'd like to add for clarification that I can't personally say that every single mod you see in these chats is part of this mob trying to take down Scammer Payback. And I'm sure that there was a bunch of mods who did their job and they did a great job and they fell in line with whatever Pierogi or Brandon asked. If you were one of those mods, this video is not about you, but if you're in this little gang that's trying to take down Scammer Payback, this video is for you. Brandon then responds with, understood. Trying to keep drama down, that includes staff chat. We have to manage our time and focus on avoiding red flags as necessary. To which Knight Maiden then says, Brandon, that's why P has staff, loyal staff. We work together, talk about problems, and help each other solve issues with members and Discord. So I hope that conversation kind of put into perspective the kind of stuff that Brandon was dealing with when he entered Scammer Payback. They were used to the way that things were when Pierogi was probably an up-and-coming YouTuber, and now that he was a mainstream YouTuber, a lot of things had to change just in order to protect the brand. And I think a lot of them blamed Brandon for that happening, even though Brandon was just coming in and trying to do what was best for the brand, Scammer Payback. And he was met with a lot of resistance. I think this is why the perception that Brandon came in and was trying to weasel his way into stuff really got to them, because he came in and immediately took out all the threats to the channel that is on YouTube, not on Discord, and they had a huge problem with it. And they took it incredibly personally because that's where they spent their nights, hanging out there. And now they didn't have that. It's like kids who were hanging out in the parking lot of a grocery store. Finally, a grocery store came out and was like, sorry guys, you gotta go.
Oh, get off my lawn!
In no way did I feel like Brandon was being unfair in that interaction. If I'm missing something and you see something that you think is unfair, let me know. But if I was running a Discord and there was constant drama coming from one particular sector, I would address that by just removing that sector as well. And now it's come out recently that Scammer Payback's just doing away with Discord altogether, and to be honest, I think that's a good move. The majority of the thorn in their sides come from Discord. Now, it's unfortunate because I'm sure there's so many people in there who are just super awesome Scammer Payback supporters, and they didn't deserve to have this happen to them. It's always that small few who ruin it for everybody else, because you have people like this idiot Orange Hoodie coming forward with fake claims, basically trying to twist narratives and make it look like it's something it's not.
I'm a flirtatious guy.
Not the time, bro.
Shh.
They were trying to present it like Pierogi had no say in what was going on in that, and that Brandy came in and made all these decisions himself. I would like to put that in the context for you. I think it may give us a deeper look into why Pierogi decided to close those voice chats in the first place, which, after all, is what started this whole entire mess. So this says deleted user, but at one time this was Pierogi. I just want to thank the people who were in that community at the time who all came forward to help offer up all this information. But this was Pierogi, and he's talking about the decision he made to remove the channels that caused all that uproar and for all those people to lash out at Brandon. Remember, all the mods were accusing Brandon of being the one to do it without Pierogi's permission. Well, these decisions were made by Brandon and Pierogi. So this is basically Pierogi explaining why he made the decision to get rid of the channels. And I also think that this could give us more insight into why he decided to just get rid of the Discord altogether. I made the decision to remove the Scambait voice chat because there was someone continually going in there to promote themselves, just like they were promoting themselves in the supporters room. Oh man, I don't like to brag, but am I good or am I good? I didn't read that before I made that call, that people were probably going in there to promote themselves, and essentially you're in a competitive space, so I don't think Pierogi wants people coming in there trying to take away viewers, right? After all, YouTube is extremely competitive. Pat on the back for that one, OEG. Honestly guys, I wish people would respect the decisions that I'm making versus all this other stuff. I don't think dad chat is something I want around in my Discord anymore. I'm not going to have it around to make 25 people happy. I bet you could guess who was involved in that 25 people that were complaining. All of this that's going on in here literally making me want to shut all of it down. You have to really stop with this. This isn't a matter of who's been here longer. It's not a tenure thing. The mods will continue to moderate what goes on in all of the rooms, just like it always has been. It might be a shock to not have the raunchy dad chat, but people in the community can gather many places, including in private messaging and voice groups. There is also a supporters voice chat that the majority of people from DAG can go to. I haven't seen anyone use it yet. Pierogi's message continues here. Discord is not growing proportionally to YouTube and other social media, and while it has its place, it has too much of a direct connection to me. I will still be heavily active with all the community through the member streams, Patreon, etc. I came back from the weekend with over 50 direct messages because I have allowed that to be a thing where anyone could message me. It's just too much. With respect to my own mental health and stress levels, please, enough of this. If you are mad at the decisions, you can be mad at me then. I'm highly disappointed that any of this is happening because I decided to remove the dad chat. Please stop being offended and think about the stress levels that this is adding to me for once. Thank you. If Discord is causing such a blow up, then I think people need to reevaluate what is most important. None of this is a question of loyalty or how long someone has been here. Please start respecting the decisions that I'm making. I'm doing them to avoid potential greater issues and to reduce distress and anxiety. So clearly you could see that all this stuff was taking an emotional toll on Pierogi, and I'm imagining this probably happened after the Savannah stuff, so I'm sure Pierogi's view of Discord probably became jaded, and you know, whatever took place between him and his wife, I'm sure that the Pierogi's participation in that Discord was a big topic of discussion, because after all, that's where all the problems came from. Now, Pierogi's not the first influencer to just do away with Discord. If you ask Oompaville, he had a Discord once, he just did away with it. I think Discord's great for people who are trying to become up-and-coming YouTubers. Like for someone like me, Discord's awesome. It's a place for me to start getting to meet people, for people to start giving me suggestions on what they like to see. But I can imagine if you have so many people overwhelmingly trying to get your attention, that's gotta be like trying to walk through hell and everybody's just trying to get a piece of you, you know? I don't blame Pierogi for this at all. So if this is what Collins is trying to say is why Pierogi's selfish, because pierogi decided to put his mental health and his family before some strangers in Discord, regardless of how supportive they were or how much money they donated, then I think that Collins is just coming off like a big old piece of shit. So it looks like this isn't like the first time the pierogis had to address this stuff. This is like, honestly, the whole top lines of this is the same exact thing that I just read to you from the week before. So I'm just going to start where it's different, and you'll be able to see him like talk about that while he's giving this statement. So I'm just going to start it here. He says, please respect the changes I'm making. I'm doing them to avoid a potential greater issue, to reduce the stress and anxiety all this is causing. Just please respect that. Good Lord. I can't believe that I have to keep coming back to this every week now. One last thing. Nobody goes into dad chat outside of 2 to 5 people unless I am in there. If I am not going to be active in there, why have something that could potentially harm the name of Scammer Payback? Doesn't make any sense at all. I'm sure me stepping back from visibility on Discord is going to make some people feel left out or whatever, but it's something that needs to be done. This is a healthy decision, and you all need to please respect me as a person for actually making the decision to remove things that are being a distraction. I'm highly disappointed that my decisions continually are being questioned. I mean, again, pierogi has stressed his case several times that, hey guys, like, if you care about Scammer Payback, you got to understand that, like, I know that you guys like to congregate in these rooms and hang out or whatever, but you can do that somewhere else. This is my job. This is my brand, and I know what goes on in them chats when I'm not there, and I'd prefer that to not be something that I have to worry about when I'm already trying to worry about my family, worry about what the next content is. I can only imagine the wave of things that were overwhelming pierogi while all this shit was going on. So again, when Collins says to you guys, not that any of you fucking listen to this dude, all right? I know I'm preaching to like 95% of people who already agree with me. He's the only one who thinks that he's like really making a dent, but I just kind of want to really nail it home so that like whatever he comes back with after this is just automatically null and void, because there's not possibly any way that he can dispute the things that I'm talking about. I'm literally reading pierogi's words right here. He doesn't have that. So, how you like that, Collins? But anyway, like the overwhelmingness that he was probably feeling when all this was going on is like, could you imagine? Imagine you have a 7 million YouTube channel, right? And you grew with a lot of the people in that channel, but now all of a sudden you can't just like give them the attention that you used to enjoy getting, because honestly, it's just so big now that there's so many people coming in there. Like pierogi's a rock star now. Pierogi's a huge rock star on the internet. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows him with the blue hair, right? I know that he's not getting covered in drama right now, which is probably a good thing for his brand, honestly, that I'm covering it and not someone like Turkey Tom, because then every other commentary bro will be on it. Instead, I'm getting a chance to get out there and look at the evidence for what it is in a nice even-keeled way. Although I will say Turkey Tom's usually pretty good at like seeing through bullshit, and I'm pretty sure that he would roast Collins too. Like, Collins, I'm gonna warn you, man, if the rest of the commentary community gets wind of like this story, you are going to be toasted, bro. I'm just telling you right now, all right? They do not like people who make shit up, because every other commentary bro who takes it seriously, like people like Willie Mack or people who do like religious resource looking up like Mudahar and Nicholas Diorio, all those guys, they're going to hate you because you're just trying to be a commentary guy without looking up anything. Like, what do you think's going to happen, dude? People aren't stupid. They're not going to just be like, oh, well, he said it, so it must be right. That's not how the fucking world works, dude. So if you look at the dates of these, it's 9/27/21, so that's actually kind of closer to when the mass exodus of all these people who turned around and now hate Scammer Payback, this is when they all left. So I think that's why these particular messages and not stuff that's being posted in there right before it was deleted are important, because this is when the hate group was formed, right? It gives you a chance to put into context what exactly happened that triggered all these people to get so angry. And no, it wasn't because pierogi cares about himself, which he should care about himself. He's a human fucking being, but it's because they got something that they love taken from them, and that's it. And people don't like change, especially people who are like habitual Discord users. But anyway, the last thing that I will say is that through all of this, the only changes are: 1, dad chat is gone; 2, scambait voice chat is gone. There are reasons, like I said, why both are gone. The blatant self-promotion by that guy wasn't moderated, and this isn't a place for someone to get their claim to fame. Dad chat was going way over the line, and we're going to talk about that. All else is the same. The community is the same. The people, the rooms, all of the same opportunities. Feel free to start up voice chats in the supporters room. I'm going to be monitoring how many voice chats get started up in the supporters room that consist of all the same people who were joining dad chat, basically saying if I catch you going in there and trying to do that creepy like sexual shit in my chat room, you're gone.
He was DMing them as well, sexually explicit messages and everything else. And here's my issue with it. I'm not gonna be a pot calling the kettle black. Don't support pierogi. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. He's not good for you, and he's not good for the scammer community. I was doing the same thing.
Speaking of twisting narratives and getting wrong information, do you remember his mention of DCTC earlier in the video?
Pepperidge Farm remembers. But Pepperidge Farm ain't just gonna keep it to Pepperidge Farm self free of charge.
Well, I did some digging myself, and it turns out I found some pretty interesting information. And I think that this is gonna really show you just how big of a liar and full of shit Collins is.
I did things I was both proud of, not proud of, behaved in a way that was morally gray at the minimum.
So let's see exactly what Collins wants you to believe about DCTC.
I do want to mention something else with Brandon that I just kind of realized I forgot to talk about. YouTube's, we've banned your account policies, and they're pretty severe to the point that if YouTube ever were to really catch wind of the fact that he is an active owner of this YouTube channel, well, it's gonna get shut down. That's not my call. I'm just saying their policies on ban evasions, and once you've had a channel shut down, jumping to another channel, those are pretty severe. So I'm not telling anyone that if your experience has been really, really bad or has done something to you in a way beyond just maybe not fulfilling donation promises or membership
Today, Junior!
promises or anything like that, or the people that maybe just recently joined as a member today thinking they're going to get Discord privileges only to find out it's being completely terminated.
Now maybe it's just me, but I've never found a YouTube channel that I've been a big fan of and been like, you know what? I need to get in there and get some Discord privileges. I think that only his sick head is the type that thinks that way. And I guess these other people too. I mean, don't get me wrong, if Discord's your thing, Discord's your thing, but like these people have a clearly unhealthy relationship with it.
I mean, you could report the channel for ban evasion, but again, not telling anyone to do that, just saying it's a possibility.
So Orange Hoodie Guy in his masterful wisdom is basically saying that Brandon is trying to ban evade, which we all know is a big no-no on YouTube. But what channel could he possibly be ban evading from? Well, let's take a look. Let's see what he had to say about Brandon's previous channel.
Brandon was rubbing a lot of us the wrong way. We weren't sure what was going on. We weren't sure what was happening. But something about him just seemed like he was a piranha coming in just for the kill, or a vulture circling up above just trying to feed off whatever carcass there was he could feed off, right? Pierogi at the time was pushing his content forward. He was turning around and he was starting to push everything forward. And here comes this person having success, and here comes Brandon swooping in. He wants to get his nasty little hands all over that. I'm a flirtatious guy. Now, why do I say nasty little hands? Well, because of the fact that he has had 3 YouTube channels completely banned and shut down, including DCTC Clubhouse. Why? Well, because of stuff like this and for what was called Elsagate. If you don't know what Elsagate is, I do encourage you to Google it. I'm not going to go over it inside here, but basically it was sexually explicit content aimed towards kids, and it was not okay. And and when I say we, those of us that were part of an inner circle, part of that group, we weren't okay with that. And we weren't okay with that type of mindset infiltrating into something that we thought was there to support victims, to support other people, and to help everybody else.
You are a bald-faced liar.
Right? It's not what they were there for. Well, as we're hearing that this is going on and this is happening, I start receiving messages that it seems like someone is trying to play people against people.
Oh, lies!
So I became a double agent.
AKA, I just decided to become a weaselly little shit. So let's go back to DCTC first, alright? Not only one does he say that DCTC is banned, but 2, he says that it was a part of Elsagate. So let's do a quick search and see if DCTC is still up on YouTube today. Oh wow, would you look at that? It's literally the first thing that comes up. Let's go subscribe to it. 7.48 million subscribers. That's impressive. Wow, let's take a look here. Oh, yep. I mean, they haven't posted in 7 years, but they're still there. You know what? Let me go back for a second. Who's Amy Jo Show? Wow, Amy Jo, construction of a new pool part 2. It looks like Amy Jo was part of this show. Let's see if I can get a hold of her. You know, if there's somebody who can clear up this whole mess about this DCTC stuff, it's got to be Amy Jo, right? She worked with Brandon. I mean, if we can't reach out to Brandon because he's, you know, a part of this whole thing, let's reach out to someone who's worked with him for a long time and see if this guy's really a nightmare. It's amazing to me how easily it is to contact someone and ask him about something instead of just mouthing off. Collins, if you took 2 seconds to reach out to Amy Jo, I'm pretty sure she probably could have clarified the fact that the DCTC channel was not taken down. This is why you can't run around with assumptions. Remember, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, except in this situation, only you look an ass, and I guess the group around you too. So I reached out to Amy Jo, and she couldn't be more excited to talk about DCTC, and I think that you guys are going to find it pretty fascinating about what she says. We talked for a long time, but I'm going to condense the interview down to the important parts that I think fit this video, or else this video will be like 3 hours long. But maybe if you guys want and you ask in the comments, I'll release the full interview between me and Amy Jo. Now, let's see what Amy Jo has to say.
Hey guys, welcome back to DCTC. I'm Amy Jo, and on today's episode,
so that's one of the things that is wrong in that video. So Brandon already had that channel and had been doing gaming on it.
So when did the flags start playing a factor?
Okay, so I know that in that video he referenced ElsaGate, but it didn't really start with ElsaGate. What first started was what everybody was calling Admageddon. I don't know how long you've been YouTubing, but
I'm familiar with it, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like the whole PewDiePie put out a video and the content was offensive, and so advertisers wanted to pull out. They wanted to pull their ads from PewDiePie's content, and YouTube was like, hey, that's not the way it works. So there was that whole thing. So YouTube panicked and created a bunch of bots to try to like comb through everything that was out there. So the way that I describe everything that happened was like, if you are on a shrimping boat and you throw a net into the ocean to catch shrimp, you're definitely going to catch shrimp, but you're also going to catch flounder and crabs and lobster and whatever else is in the water adjacent to that. And that's kind of what happened with us. Normal videos, like a video of me making a Play-Doh volcano and then having it, you know, erupt with baking soda and vinegar, like totally innocuous, benign videos. Us opening our gold play button, our 100,000 subscriber video, like
they flagged
those
that?
types of, yeah.
Wow.
So that was happening. The whole Admageddon thing was happening. We were getting flags, and and we were like, whoa, like what is? We're trying to figure out what's wrong with this video. And you can't get a human. Anybody who does YouTube knows you can't. It's really hard to get a human on the phone to try to figure out like, okay, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then things got super weird, and there were channels that were absolutely like just completely taking advantage of what was happening in the kid vertical space and making inappropriate content. For sure, that was happening. And for the record, like there were, I don't know, I think hundreds of channels got swept up in what is called ElsaGate, ours among them. We also received a letter of apology, and our channel's back up. DCTC is up.
You can go to DCTC right now and watch all the videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there was never any kind of ban involved at all, and Brandon's not ban evading or anything.
No, we were never banned. What happened is, again, just to back up, so they were desperate after the thing that happened with all of the ads being taken off, and they're losing money. So it just kind of continued, and then something did need to happen. There did need to be changes, and then the COPA legislation came through, and then that's when YouTube really threw out a very, very wide net. And I think, honestly, with the amount of content that is uploaded per minute, they can't put human eyes on it. There's just not enough. And so while I am very frustrated and sad and mad, that DCTC got taken down, I do understand that they had to do something. Unfortunately, we were the bycatch. So they wanted to shut down a lot of channels that were inappropriate, and we got caught up in them.
So you were one of the lobsters that got caught in the net with the shrimp.
Yes, exactly. And we received an email apology from YouTube.
Could you have remonetized if you wanted to?
Yeah.
So before we get back to the interview and I ask you about what it was like working with Brandon, I want to make it very, very clear to you that not only is this proof that Collins is lying, but this also puts into perspective that Brandon already had a successful YouTube channel. In fact, his YouTube channel was even more successful than Scammer Payback at the time. So for Collins to say that Brandon was just trying to get his nicely little hands, I think he put it, all over Scammer Payback just simply isn't true. Brandon had already established himself as a very successful entrepreneur on YouTube. So once again, I just want to take this time to point out this is why it's so important to have evidence and not just start your camera up on YouTube and start spouting out bullshit. For those who are less informed, they might listen to Collins because he was part of the Scammer Payback community for a little while and think that what he's saying is actually true, when in reality, you all just heard that it couldn't be further from the truth. And I probably didn't even need to talk to Amy Jo. I probably could have just put into the browser, search DCTC on YouTube, and it pops up. Bam, there you go. You already know he's a liar. So these are simple things that you guys at home can do just to see who's talking crap and who's actually telling the truth on YouTube. I hope this puts into perspective just how lazy Collins is being with his arguments. It would have taken him 2 seconds to look up DCTC and see if it was still on YouTube. If Brandon had sexual material on that YouTube channel, it would not be there now. Most of the channels that were involved in Elsagate will never be allowed on YouTube again. But if you doubt I'm talking to Amy Jo and you want more proof that this really did happen, Amy was nice enough to send me the email that YouTube sent them, so I'm going to share that with you guys right now. So I'm blurring out the email just so no weirdo out there tries to hack into this account to take over their YouTube account, because after all, it does have millions and millions of subscribers, so that is a expensive YouTube account to have. But as you look here, it says date Sunday, May 30th, 2021 at 8:42 a.m. Subject YouTube, account notification to Disney's Cars, blah, blah, blah at google.com. Now, if we scroll down, it says YouTube, hi DCTC Toy Channel. We're pleased to let you know that we've recently reviewed your YouTube account, and after taking another look, we can confirm that it is not in violation of our terms of service. We have lifted the suspension on your account, and it is once again active and operational. We'd like to thank you for your patience while we reviewed this case. Our goal is to make sure content doesn't violate our community guidelines so that YouTube can be a safe place for all. And sometimes we make mistakes trying to get it right. We hope you understand, and we're sorry for any inconvenience and frustration this has caused. If you have any further questions, please feel free to blah, 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 blah. Sincerely, the YouTube team. You received this email to provide information, updates around your YouTube channel or account, yada, yada, yada. 2021, Google LLC. I believe in journalism, they call that a smoking gun. Good luck talking your way out of that one, orange hoodie guy. Although then again, you have no morals, so you're probably just gonna twist some narrative and act like that I'm making this all up, or that the narrative changed and they were originally banned and now they're not for some reason because Brandon's got all these connections or some crap like that. Listen, you got it wrong. You're spouting bullshit, right? This could be taken as slander, because not only are you slandering the current business of a man, but you're slandering a former business of the man, thus slandering his whole reputation. And for what? Because he kicked you out of a stupid Discord. I want you to understand just how petty you are being. And I told you I was going to leave you with egg on your face when this was all over. In my opinion, there's two types of people. There's those who are worried about what kind of attention they get, and then there's those who search for the truth. And I actually left a comment on Colin's YouTube channel when someone said, you know what, these back and forth videos should be a rap battle, and I said he don't want this smoke, to which Collins once again pointed out views, making fun of the fact that I have 2,500 subscribers and my first video had 2,500 views. So you're saying that like he's more popular than me, just so you could see just how petty this guy's being. He's really just embracing this villain role. Take a look at this comment. I gotta tell you, this guy is a content machine. Just when you think you can't think worse of this dude, he surprises you and does something even more petty. So obviously some of you guys are enjoying this drama, but someone by the name of Fryfly6 says, can we all just agree on one thing moving forward, that these videos going back and forth should start being rap battles? And then I responded with, he don't want this smoke, cause of course he doesn't. He won't even talk to me. What makes you think he's gonna rap battle me? So then Spurs Champ 2007, which is orange guy, goes, I'm gonna try to sound like him for a second. 2.59k subscribers, 2.5k views, 40 subscribers, 1.3k views. Yep, I'm shaking in my boots. Sorry I'm more popular that your own subscriber base doesn't want the shit you are spewing. So then of course I reply, because again, he's hung up on these stupid views and does not not give a shit about truth. He's just trying his hardest just to do what he can to disrupt the reputation of Scammer Payback. I said, Colin, when this is all said and done, bro, you're gonna want to burn that hoodie. That's all I'm saying. Enjoy the attitude for now. Just remember, I tried to warn you. You keep obsessing over views, and I'll keep focusing on the truth. Let's see which takes a person further. I'm really not trying to pick on Collins. I'm not. Even though he makes it kind of easy sometimes, that's just not the type of person I try to be. And to be frank, I feel really bad for him because you could tell that he's embracing this villain role, because if you look at the rest of the comments, not many of them are very nice. I mean, of course you have like his 2 or 3 super supporters that will listen to anything he says because they're usually the ones behind him with the pitchfork poking him to go. But the majority of the comments are like, please stop talking. I think one of them was like, I hope this is your last video. And that's really not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to explain to him that when you have a platform like YouTube, regardless of how small your subscriber count is, you have a responsibility to make sure that the information that you are pushing out to people is something that you've done your due diligence on. Now, yes, you could spit out a video every day talking crap about whatever you want because you don't look at any research, you don't care about evidence. You throw up a couple screenshots between you and Pierogi and act like that's some kind of evidence, even though in the screenshots that you show, Pierogi's being like a super nice guy to you. But just because you read it differently, you're trying to twist that narrative to try to represent it as something it's not. Now, this video here took a lot of work, right? I had to track down Amy Jo. I was lucky enough to be able to sit down and speak with her to find out what happened with the DCTC channel. And look at that. Look how much information I was able to find just by waiting a little bit, looking into things, and making sure that what I'm telling the people who are watching me, that I know it's the truth because I've looked into it myself. That is the difference between you and me. And that is the difference between a lot of different YouTubers. Some YouTubers will hop behind a mic and just start spewing out whatever the hell they want. And then you have some YouTubers do their due diligence to make sure that what they are presenting people is something they can stand firmly behind. There is no way that you can sit there and argue with me and tell me that I don't know what happened to DCTC, considering that I spoke to one of the co-owners of the channel, was presented information with evidence to back that information up. So just in case you thought that Amy Jo was lying for some reason, I don't know why you would, but she presented me with the email showing that it was a mistake on YouTube's part, that the channel was even shut down in the first place. If I'm able to point out that many inconsistencies in Colin's claims, what would make you think that anything he says in the future would have any type of legitimacy behind it at all? You can clearly see this guy is speaking from nothing but emotion. And while this drama was fun and all, and you know, it's fun to have a back and forth with someone, I don't want to rival with someone who is literally just standing by ignorance while I'm standing by facts, because every time he talks, he can literally get behind a mic and say whatever the hell he wants. Whereas for me to rebut that, I'm gonna basically have to put together a book report to show you what I'm doing. So just to be very clear, there was zero content that could be taken as adult humor.
You know how Disney movies have like an appeal to a wide age range?
Yeah.
I think it was like that. I think there were things in there that would have appealed to kids. There was nothing sexual or sexually explicit. I want to say something else.
Absolutely.
So as far as Brandon being toxic, Brandon does not like drama, and he isn't like a gossipy, like, I don't know, he just doesn't have time for that. It's not his personality, but he's not toxic. He's really generous. I've seen him take care of people who did not deserve that level of generosity from him. Again, without going into specifics, I mean, he's like rescued me out of some situations, or maybe not rescued, but like played a big part in helping me get from A to Z and during challenging times that I've gone through.
And I think what's so frustrating is him and Brandon helped save my marriage.
Say that these detractors somehow managed to get Scammer Payback shut down. How bad of a loss for just the community and the world in general would that be?
Oh, I think that's huge. I mean, that makes me really sad that they would do that. I don't understand that sort of mentality or mindset. Yeah,
Amy,
exactly.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
The help that the whole community has given me to help represent these guys has been incredible. Honestly, you got such a beautiful community surrounding Scammer Payback, and honestly, I couldn't think of a more noble cause to try to stick my head out and fight for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is like good stuff. This is noble stuff.
It's not just like your typical drama YouTuber. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, but you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah, there's a place for all of it. There's a place for all of it.
Again, I just wanted to really thank Amy Amy Jo for taking the time to talk to me. That was an amazing conversation. I've never personally spoken to a YouTuber who had such a massive following, so to get those insights into what it's like in the day-to-day of someone who is like a massive YouTuber definitely was eye-opening for me. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again for watching this. Listen to me ramble. Listen to me present all this evidence. This has been crazy, dude. This whole situation has been absolutely crazy. But like I said, I don't do anything I don't truly believe. Like, I would never sit here and work for 2 days straight at this desk. I get up, I go to work, I come home, I work my ass off to get this done. I actually took off work yesterday just to get this, like, most of this video done. And then I went to work all day and then came home. Since 4 p.m. I've been sitting here working on this video, and it is now 4 a.m. So that's why my voice is like a lot quieter now. I'm not trying to wake up everybody else in the house, but I just want you to understand how much I care about this. And it's not because I'm like Scammer Payback's #1 fan. It's because I believe in what they do. These people want to act like Pierogi doesn't care about the people that he saves. I want to end this video on this clip here that I found incredibly powerful. I'll set it up for you. All right, there was a woman who was on her way to a Coinbase ATM to deposit $15,000, and Pierogi runs intercept. And I want you to pay attention to his reaction. Okay, guys, Pierogi's not an actor, all right? He's not like an Academy Award winner. These are genuine emotions that this man's feeling. And I want to end it on here so that you guys can see what I'm fighting for and why I believe so much in what they're doing. With that said, I'll see you guys on the next one.
Hello?
Hello, Barb. Barb, hi. You were right. You were being scammed, ma'am. You're being scammed. Do not give money to those people. I finally heard her voice. I was so stressed out because I didn't know if I would get her and I didn't know if I could save her.
I understand. Okay.
Go.
I called Apple.
I know.
Who are you? Who are you?
Okay, I go after bad scammers that steal money from people, okay? You're outside of that liquor store, right, to go to the Bitcoin ATM. Do not go in there. Do not go put your money back in your bank. There's no fraudulent charges. There's nothing. And of course, when you get a victim on the line, you let them know immediately that they're being scammed, because it's one thing to get them on the phone, but you don't want to lose them on the phone. So you have to spit out all the information as quickly as possible so they understand. You just need to not give these people money. They're not the FBI. They're scammers from India. I promise you.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's why I was getting nervous.
Yes, ma'am. And then from there, it's calming them down and then helping them along the way to get the money back in their account and keep them safe.
Okay, so now I go put the money back in the bank. They didn't get my money. They didn't take $25,000 and send it to China.
Well, do you have it as cash, or where is the money?
Well, I only have 15 in cash.
Where's the other 10,000? Is it still in the bank?
It's still in the bank.
Beautiful. Okay. So then go back to your bank and go put the 15,000 back in, and do not send these fools anything.
Should I talk to the bank then?
Yes, ma'am, and tell them that scammers are watching your account. So essentially what's going to happen is if you have your computer on, they can go back onto your computer. So
it's on at home, so I go shut it off before it's on the way to the bank.
Well, I would go to the bank first, put your money in the bank, and then we need to get the scammers off of your computer, because they've loaded software that's pretty much, they can watch your computer at any point when it's on. Did you download something on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay,
ConnectWise?
Yeah, ConnectWise. So you need to uninstall ConnectWise from your phone.
Just delete the app?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I could do that.
Yeah, so you need to uninstall the ConnectWise from your phone.
And then they can't hear me.
Correct. And then when you get back home, you just need to turn the internet off. Is it plugged in or is it on Wi-Fi?
No, it's plugged in on my desk.
Yeah, so you just unplug the internet cable, and then I will help you uninstall it, and then you can just plug it back in. You'll be fine.
And what do you charge?
0. I don't want anything from you. I just want to help you. There's no charge.
And so you're not asking for any money?
No, ma'am. I don't want any money.
How do you make a living?
So I make a living. So I run a YouTube channel. It's called Scammer Payback, and we make videos to tell the world about these types of scams, and that allows us to have our operation. So when people watch the videos, then we get sponsors and stuff like that. So that's how we do it.
Boy, they are calling. They just are not giving up.
They're not very happy. They're not very happy right now, but I'm happy, and you should be happy too. So.
I am too. I mean, I got very close to turning this money over to them.
Yes, ma'am.
I should have been more alert when they said, "Well, take whatever you can get."
Right.
Because they told me that if I couldn't get the 25, then I should just take whatever they can give me. So I don't know, but thank you. I mean, I can't afford to lose $15,000 or $25,000. I'm 77 years old. And what's the name of your group again?
So it's called, I have a YouTube channel called Scammer Payback. So,
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
I'm at the bank.
Okay.
All right.
Be safe.
Thanks.
And you go yell at the bank for letting you take out all that money.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Okay. All right. We'll talk
All right,
soon.
thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Let's freaking go! Yeah!
What's the whole call?
Let's freaking go.
I'm so late now.
Man, you know, I just want to say, guys, that saving people never gets old for me. I mean, my hands are like shaking because this is what my job is obviously we want to make content, do fun streams and all those kinds of things. But to save people, you heard her words, and she said, I cannot afford to lose this money. And this is for all the times of the people that could not afford to lose that money. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for that I was able to run across this person. I've only wanted to just help people. This is why I do this. And it's the most fulfilling thing to help a person out.